But later, when a squad enters the door of a house farther down the street to clear the structure, the unarmed man appears again.
He was inside the house. Interpreters went up and started questioning, and he kept saying again, no insurgents, no bad guys, nothing like that.
As the ISF troops are questioning the man, the Marines clear the bottom floor of the house. They begin to ascend the steps toward the second floor.
The old guy, in the middle of getting questioning from the interpreters, let out a loud Arabic scream.
At that moment, an insurgent dressed exactly like an ISF soldier appears at the top of the stairway, tosses down 2 fragmentation grenades, and then sprays the room with an AK-47 assault rifle. The lead Marine on the stairway goes down.
He was killed, he was shot in the face.
2 of the Marines have AT-4 shoulder-fired anti-tank rockets. AK-47 rounds strike both of them. The warheads do not explode, but both rocket mortars ignite. The unarmed man takes advantage of the confusion and escapes from the house. Moments later, the second insurgent emerges from the rear door of the structure. Lance Corporal Frank Turco is on an adjacent rooftop with a scoped rifle.
He looked exactly like the ISF that was working with us. And at that time, I thought he was ISF.
Turco hesitates.
I let out a scream, and then I seen him turn around and raise up, and it was either me or him, and I just pulled the trigger first and put him down.
The fighting in Karabola ends 4 days later, when Task Force 3-2 finally reaches the northern edge of the city. Dozens of insurgents have been captured, and some 207 have died in the fighting. The Marines themselves have suffered multiple casualties. But they have made great strides in disrupting the foreign fighter network in the region, including the takedown of a sort of foreign fighter reception center.
The house had an enormous amount of intelligence, things that showed some of the organization, how they were bringing guys in through Syria, but really confirmed the presence of foreign fighters.
We found in there books on how to be an insurgent, on what to do with hostages. Make sure you keep them safe until you find out what they know and what they're worth.
The Marines also made a gruesome discovery along the way. Next door to the reception center, they found a torture chamber with Iraqi prisoners still present.
3 former Iraqi border patrolmen, handcuffed, half beaten to death, starved, just left there. The windows were painted black. They had a rope hanging down from the ceiling where they would hang them up and beat them with rubber hoses. I mean, it was something that you see in a movie you never expect to see in real life.
The opportunity to kill or capture Musab al-Zarqawi never presented itself. That would happen months later. But the Marines of the task force are still quite proud of the work they accomplished in Ubaidi, Karabola, and the Ramada region north of the river. Before the Marines arrived, foreign fighters massed in the area had been oppressing the local citizens and denying them fundamental liberties.
The Iraqis are able to have AK-47s, that's just kind of a way of life. Everybody has a rifle to protect themselves. Up north of the river, they didn't. They weren't allowed to by the foreign fighters. They weren't allowed to have phones. Essentially, they were being controlled by that element of foreign fighters who didn't want anybody who might challenge them or call in and tell somebody where they were.
The jihadists were also committing atrocities.
They were killing women. They were injecting people with gasoline. They were doing horrible things.
The Marines put a stop to it.
We were able to go through there, ensure that we didn't hurt any innocent people, and we got rid of the insurgents that were causing them to be fearful of their lives. So the people were extremely, showing their gratitude to us.
Task Force 3-2 also believes the offensives served another purpose. They sent a chilling message to enemy fighters across the whole of Iraq. If the Marines want you, they're going to come and get you, no matter where you try to hide.